Ladies and gentlemen, a beloved character in not only BRD, but the South Utah County world, Rafa Ledesma, a national treasure, a foodie, and also a dear friend. Rafs, thanks for being on, man.
No, thanks for having me on. Long time waiting, so I'm glad I can hopefully offer some good stuff, good content for the people.
We've been building for this one. That we've wanted to make sure that we had the proper format out, that we were ready for this pod, and so we're glad that you're on, man.
Saving the best for last, I see.
Yeah.
Can't be mad at that.
So, Rafs, I think you have a really cool story and a really interesting sales journey that not a lot of people have maybe followed, and I think that's going to be the cooler parts that we're going to talk about today.
Yeah.
But first, for those just listening, I want you to give a little bit of your origin story, even pre-sales. Where are you from? How did you become Rafael Jellybean Ledesma?
I'd love to get right into it. So, from Payson, Utah, so Southern Utah County. I've lived there all my life. I have one older sibling, one younger sibling. I met Dawson when we were in 8th grade. We were at a junior high basketball game.
Diamond Fork, D-backs for life.
Yeah, they actually beat us that. I think you beat us that day, right?
Oh, dude, we beat you every time, bro.
Yeah.
We beat you when I was the manager. We beat you the next year, dude.
Yeah, no, that's where I met Dawson, and they beat us. They did have our number for a few years, and he was at the scores table. We were both managers. I was at the scores table. And never in a million years that I would think that would ever turn into an amazing friendship, and just been really blessed that I was a manager for Mount Eba Junior High basketball team, because otherwise I just wouldn't be here. And went to Salem Hills High School, graduated with Dawson and a few other BRD faithful like Tyler Averett, and that's pretty much graduated from Utah Valley University, marketing degree. That's pretty much it, pre-sales.
So let's talk about the first time where you entered sales. Was it at BRD, or did you do some level of sales or salesmanship before you came in?
I have a few sales experience. First one was upstairs. I don't know if you remember that. With
your insurance.
Yeah, selling insurance, literally right up a floor above us where we're currently at. And I did pretty good. I was there for 3 months. I just wasn't super passionate about it. I was still working on my undergrad then. Graduated from UVU in 22 or 21. Can't exactly remember. So finished a marketing degree. I worked in corporate America for a year, and I did some sales there. I was in the sales department there. Oversaw a small team. Again, it was in the rental car industry. Wasn't super passionate about that. I hated my job, and I approached Dawson, saw that he was building something amazing, growing company, and I asked if I could hop on. And I'll never forget Dawson's response. He was like, "Well, we don't really have anything for you at the moment, but we'll make it work." And 4 years later, here we are. So yeah.
And what's amazing, even I think on your sales arc, is coming in, you kind of jumped in and helped us with the customer service because that's all we had.
Yeah.
But now, you're leading up not only a lot of internal lead generation, a team of several people, but you're also helping manage and take care of multiple salespeople after you went out and kind of created that yourself. So you've put yourself in a really good position. But I kind of want to talk about, before we talk about where you're at today, I kind of want to talk about you deciding to go out and sell. So for my journey, I went out and sold several years before you, and then obviously I started the business, things were kind of rolling, and then last year you approached me and you're just hey, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna do some termite sales.
Yeah.
And talk to me about the motivation behind that. I know you had a lot of other things kind of on your mind of what the future looked like, and what kind of inspired you to do that, and how did that decision play out?
Yeah. So I forgot to preface, sorry, that my sales experience had always been B2B, so it'd been business to business. It was never door to door or anything like that. So I've always been really good with people. So I saw some guys out there killing it that I was I don't think these people are any more competent than I am. I'm a charismatic guy. I think I could do this. So the inspiration outside of money was that to prove myself that I could do it, because I've never done something like this before. Like I said, this is a different stratosphere. It's it's consumer sales, right? It's more interpersonal as opposed to business to business. Just prove myself that I could do it, because I saw other people doing it, and that I know that I could, if they could do it, I could do it too.
I actually love that idea, and I think past money, like one day we're all going to be 6 feet under the ground. Worms are going to be taking us over, turning us into compost or whatever, and like I just think it's important, more than a money motivation, is just be like, hey, a life growth motivation. And just like when you look back, or when it's all over, I think you're really, really going to want to know, like, hey, did I take a chance to like improve myself? And I think that's what sales has always been for me. Is it's always been a great vehicle to try and push limits and try to like see if I can get the most out of myself, my life, and my friends' lives.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I'm glad it's been one of the biggest blessings. I don't know if I'd be in the position that I am currently managing the termite division if I hadn't been out there and done it myself in the trenches. I don't know if you would have trusted me to do that, but because I did, I guess we don't have to worry about it. But no, it's been a huge blessing that I was out there. I was able to learn the ins and outs of the industry, and not only prove myself that I can do it, but to Dawson as well, who's obviously my boss and a good friend. That that it wasn't a handout, if you will.
One of the I've watched your work ethic over the years, and I think it's grown and increased and like gotten stronger every year. But I'm amazed. I was actually I was talking to my uncle Greg about you, and he's like, I like Rafa. He's very savvy. He kind of gets things, and he's like, I can tell his work ethic is really, really good and grown substantially kind of in the past coming years. And I think that's one of the things that I've been most impressed with you over the past like 3 or 4 years, is like I've really seen you lean in and turn a ton of those gears on to kind of take yourself to the next level. As far as like, let's talk about your first big paycheck though. So, I mean, termite, a lot of the money, it kind of rolls in different than in door-to-door sales. So you get it kind of like closer to when you're selling. But when that first check hit and you're like, oh man, I got like money coming in my bank account, was there anything crazy you bought, or anything you're like, oh, like I wanted to make sure I got this thing?
No, well, I don't know if you remember, but literally like 3 days before my first big paycheck, I got in that car crash.
Oh yes,
yeah.
I do remember that, bro.
So I was like, well, I just got a big paycheck, but now I'm gonna have to, because I was a rental car in Houston, and I forgot to buy liability. So my car was covered, but the other car wasn't covered, and I was deemed to be at fault. So I was like, well, at least it covers that, but I couldn't do the things that I wanted to do with it. So that was on my mind, but if that wouldn't have happened, I would have.
Oh, it's tragic, bro.
I would have invested in some stocks, maybe XRP, something like that. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about your neck brace. Like you got in that accident, and like then like the next day I saw you had like a freaking full on, like I forget how much adversity you probably went through right after getting that big payday.
Yeah. No, there was my head was spinning in different directions. I was like, well, Dawson's gonna be mad at me because I can't go to work the next day. But yeah, no. But not only did I go to work the next day, I actually finished that very same day. I drove one of our door-to-door guys' car. It was his little brother Garrett. He lent me his car. Bear. Shout out Garrett Scott, and he let me borrow his car, and I was able to finish the rest of my work day. And there was a lot of adversity that day, but no car accidents the rest of the summer, and it was all good from there.
That's good. As far as like the sales process, so from door to door to termite, obviously the sales process is a little different. You're going to customers of ours already, but there's still a lot of salesmanship that goes along. What are some things that you're like, hey, I learned this about sales this past summer going out and ripping termite?
Yeah, I feel like I learned how to take people's guards down, just listening. Because pest and termite, it kind of sells itself. Termite even more so. People have stuff that's affecting their home. They got a pest that's affecting their home. They're going to want to take care of it. So I learned how to take people's guards down and listen to them better and find a need. And I did that through just building rapport, building trust. So there's a lot of difference, but there's not. You still had to have someone. You still had to work on objections and how to overcome those objections. And I would write every different objection that I got each day. I would write it down and make sure that I would the next day I would have it down. Yeah.
Let's talk about your process of like going in and like completing a sale. I think a lot of door-to-door guys are interested to know like what does a termite guy's day look like. They're always asking me throughout the summer like, hey, what are they doing? Like, wow, how's the CVs like this? Like,
Yeah.
like talk to me about approaching the customer's home start to finish.
Yeah. So you have 6 to 8 stops each day. You can drive as far as 30, 45 minutes in between the stops. So you go to the customer, you introduce yourself, you build rapport. You want to start inspecting their home on the inside for any termites. Because there you can just build trust. So when you go outside, which is where you're 90% of the time that's where you find the termites anyways, they've already built that trust. So you inspect you're looking for mud tunnels, mud trails. You're looking for wood to soil contact to see if there's tree stumps are huge. Termites love tree stumps because it's moisturous because of the rain, and it's cellulose based. So you look for wood to soil contact. You're looking for mud trails. On the inside, you're looking for frost, which is just like termite droppings, if you will, and you're also looking for swarmers that might be dead on the windowsills of homes. So that's pretty much what it looks like. All in all, you're probably going to be in a home for 30 minutes for a very thorough inspection. So that's what a day looks like. 6 to 8 stops, and inspecting the full interior, exterior, looking at a plumbing fixture like kitchen or bathroom sink as well on the inside.
Talking about like finding termites, especially I guess around the outside of the home. How rough is that process, and like what are some things that you would do? Like, do you feel like you became a termite whisperer? You were able to find them in the right kind of places and stuff like that? What are some like advice you could give there?
Yeah, no. So if you find termites, it's the closing rate's like 80%. So if you find termites, it's almost a gimme. However, people want to see them. Like, not only do they want to see them close to their home, but they kind of want you to bring it to them. If they live on a 5-acre lot and you find termites on a tree that's 100 meters from the home, they're not going to buy. So it's really important to not only find them, but to find them close to the home, just because they're more likely to buy. But yeah, I feel like it is a process, and it is a skill. It's kind of labor intensive because you're digging into wood all day. You're breaking stuff open. You could be in an attic, on a walk-in attic. You could be if it's it's a pier and beam. You're going down under the home and looking for that. So it is an art. Honestly, it is an art trying to find them, because I guarantee you there was homes that I inspected that had termites where I just didn't find them that perhaps another inspector would have found. So it's just like there's someone shipping termite. It's also an art, knowing where to look, and but if you find them, it's almost a sale every time.
So now in your job, I mean, you're selling. You've sold. You've helped build routes with leads, but now you're kind of like helping oversee all 7 of our 8 or our termite guys that are out currently in the field, bump up a pay scale, have qualified leads, and close at a high rate. What are some things, as you've seen the data or like the facts and figures come back on, like what are some things that you're like, hey, this contributes to a guy selling more than others? Like, what are some like key indicators of a high performer as a termite rep?
Honestly, just going out there and doing it. That's off the bat. If you're out there selling every day, you're gonna get at least one a day. Our average inspector gets like between 1.5 to 2 point sales a day, if they're hitting all their 6 to 8 stops. So honestly, half the battle is just having customers be in their home, showing up at the right time frame. If you have a 1 to 4 o'clock time window, but you show up at 11. It's like, why did you show up at 11? Like half the time it's just following the schedule. Another thing is overcoming the objections. I've seen a lot of our termite guys who struggle with that, but it's just in door to door. You got to overcome objections, and it's not just strictly focusing on finding termites, because like you said, there's still 20% chance on average that they might not buy, even if you do find termites. So yeah, that's what I would say.
That's cool. I guess maybe some outside stuff that maybe you didn't learn in the walls of BRD. What's something that you like maybe saw on Instagram, you maybe read in a book, you maybe heard from somebody that inspired your ability to sell, or those that you lead?
Yeah. No. So like I said, I feel like I've always been good with people. Always been charismatic. I had to do some studying on my own, obviously, to know what I was talking about. So there's a few Instagram pages that I followed, and Facebook pages of other companies that in how their termite processes work. So I did some homework on my own and implemented some of that own stuff in our department.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Who inspires you, man? Who's someone you're like, I like to model my life after, like this person, or a part of your life? It doesn't have to be the whole thing.
I feel like my older brother Marco. Like I feel like he's just like a stand-up guy, and I was always trying to like fill his shoes. So he showed me a lot. So obviously, outside of my parents, my older brother, he was just a good example, and I'm trying to be that for little Ricky, for little guy. So
it's awesome. Shout out Marco and shout out Ricky.
Yeah,
both great guys, and I leaders.
Yeah.
As far as I guess, let's talk a little bit about like some of your favorite closes. So obviously, when you're going in the process, like what are some things, or how would you coin a certain phrase to get someone to do what you want to do? Like, is there one that you're like, oh, I learned to say this instead of this?
Yeah. So actually, for my trainer from Caleb, you would find termites, and this is one of the 20% where they still wouldn't buy. My favorite one was telling them at the end of the day, like your biggest investment is your home. We should try to do everything we can to protect it, and be like, you're right. My biggest investment probably is my home, and once they would hear that, you'd get them to think, because it's not an inspired question, but it's an inspired comment, because it gets them thinking, like, this guy doesn't even know me, but he's right. I need to do everything to protect my home. So that was a big one, is telling them that at the end of the day, the biggest investment is my home, and if they ever plan on selling it, it's probably good to have termite coverage, because it's going to be way harder to sell, and it wouldn't pass the WDI report, which is a short for acronym for Wood Destroy Insect Report.
My some of the advice my grandpa gave me when I got into sales is he said, go to the 5 best salesmen that you can get in contact with within the company and ask them for phrases like that. And that dramatically impacted my ability to sell. And I think wherever you're selling, however you're doing it, going to those 5 people, finding just how they coin a phrase, or like those slight ways that they take a difference at bat, is going to be able to help you to knock it out of the park.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important utilizing your peers in that way. And I think a lot of sales guys get timid or shy or not wanting to bug somebody else. But if you can be the guy in your office that's constantly bird dogging people for how'd you do this, how'd you overcome this, what do you do when they pose the threat on the card, or hey, they're going to push this off onto someone else. Obtaining those phrases, I think, are really, really big things. Yeah,
another big one was that I also learned. I can't remember exactly what salesman said this, but he told me to use for prevention, because you wouldn't find them, but your goal is, even if you don't find them, is still try to help the customer put them on a prevention package. Is to use an example as car insurance. Like, you don't buy car insurance after you get in a car accident, right? You buy it beforehand, so you're covered. So I would phrase it that way. Be like, think of a preventative package like an auto insurance coverage. Like, you want to protect your home before it becomes an issue. You'd be like, no, like, it would also get them to think, and I sold a lot of those as well.
That's cool. So you're a foodie.
Yeah.
You like the food.
Big time, I do.
So let's talk about, for those that are going to visit the different Texas offices that we have, because that's the majority of our base. Yeah. Where are like your 3 staple restaurants that you're like, you got to go here, here, and here?
In Houston?
Across the board.
Yeah, so I was in Houston this summer. So in Houston, I guess I only really know two of our markets, because I haven't visited Oklahoma or Maryland. But in Houston, which I can speak of outside of Utah, the Honor Bar is really good. I know you don't like it.
I didn't say I didn't like it, bro.
No, your face told me everything.
It was fine. It was fine.
Yeah, no.
It's fine. Yeah,
some of us don't have a refined palate. It's fine.
The burger was kind of buff and go, if I'm being honest.
I didn't have the burger, but you don't go there for the burger though. You got the wrong thing. Like, let's start there. You got the wrong thing. Bodega Burger, if you're into smash burgers.
Okay.
And that sushi place we went to, Uchi.
It was good.
Yeah.
I had what's the thing that's really spicy?
Wasabi?
Oh, I had some of the wasabi, dude. That about did me under, but everything else was really good.
Yeah, no, I highly recommend all those places. They're not expensive either. Like I don't like the expensive stuff. I like the mom and pop shops. So
When you roll into a city, how do you find your food, man? Like, is it like TikTok? Is this like?
it used to be just Google or like Yelp, but yeah, now it's just TikTok. TikTok's the best source for foodies nowadays. Like it's not even close either in my book.
And is there certain pages you follow that you get, or is it just like you kind of just type it in the search bar?
You type in like whatever city you're in. Like if in Las Vegas, it'd be Las Vegas Foodie or Las Vegas Restaurants. I follow one page. It's called How Kev Eats, and he's like my Gandhi as far as food sources go. Yeah,
I love it.
yeah.
Let's talk about like selling in a home. Was there ever a time when you had like, was there some tension between you and a customer? Anyone you're like, oh, she was cute.
No, not that kind of tension, but I think I think you can recall the time where I went to a home and I found termites, and the lady's like, "You brought those with you, like you planted termites in my home, didn't you?" And I didn't know what to say, honestly. I was just like,
Well, no, you just say no, bro.
no, so I said no, but outside of no, she wasn't taking no for an answer. So I was like, I definitely didn't, ma'am. Like I don't know why I would do that. You think I'm just carrying like a cooler full of termites like that? You know what I mean? In my car, like, no, definitely didn't do that. that was the one memorable time. Outside of that, it's super chill.
That's cool. All right. Well, Ross, if you had to leave us with a closing thought, or just like, I think anyone that's in sales could benefit from this, what's something you'd leave everybody?
Well, I think my closing thoughts for people that aren't in sales, to just do it. Just take a chance on it. And if you're good with people, if you're multiple, if you're willing to be coached up, anybody can do it.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, hey, although anyone can do it, I just want you to know you're one in a million, Ross. You're special to all of us at BRD. Everyone across the board loves you, top to bottom.
Appreciate it.
And dude, I've appreciated letting me learn from you over the years as well. And thanks, man.
Thank you for BRD. We're lucky to have you. Such a great leader.